Hello Stampers, it's Amy with Stampin' Magic. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today we have part 2 of our little paperclip project. Now part 1 we made the actual paperclip itself, and I'll link the video to that in the description bar below. But for part 2 we're going to be making the case. It's a cute little gift case or a little card, and you can take your paperclip out, slide it in, and it's poking its head through the window. So let's get started. Of course you'll need the wonderful Magical Day bundle, so you'll need the stamp set and the dies. And today I'm going to be changing up the inside of my card slightly. So on my previous card I've inked it with white ink and stars, and for that I've used this. And for today I'm actually going to use these star dies so that the colour of this cardstock will show through behind here, just to see how it looks. You also need the vines and this banner here for our sentiment. You also need some embossing paste and the stencils to go with it, and of course a spatula. You'll need a 1.5 circle punch, some basic grey ink, a craft knife and a ruler. You'll need some fast fuse and Tombow, along with a few dimensionals. Now you also need a piece of plastic or a shiny surface, which we're going to be mixing our embossing paste with some colour. I've got this piece of plasticky kind of paper here. I have previously used the backing that comes on our dimensionals. So if I show you on here, this one's nearly empty but not quite. This paper here, which comes on our dimensionals, is perfect. So once you've finished with it, keep the paper. It's absolutely perfect for mixing some ink on and our embossing paste. Okay, the bits and pieces for the actual project you'll need. I have done a lot of the die cutting and punching in advance, just so it speeds up the video. So you'll need a scrap of Whisper White, which you're going to stamp your sentiment in some black ink, and then you're going to use that banner die, which I showed you earlier, to cut that out. So you need a little banner. You'll need 5 to 6 little vines. Got 2 dies in there, go different ways, so about 5 or 6. On this project I've done them in Lemon Lime Twist. This one's in Old Olive. I just used whatever scraps I had in green. You'll need 2 pieces of basic grey. I will put all the measurements for these on my blog, so do check them out, it'll be in the link below. So this is the one that's going to go on the inside of the card, and I've taken that star die and I've just stamped out the background in a hope that when it's inside you'll get that nice blue come through, and it'll just give a different look to the project. So hopefully that's going to work just as well as stamping them is, but it's another thing to try and show you. And then you'll need one for the front, which we're actually going to be using the embossing paste on. But what I've done is, you can use your circle punch or you can use your Thinlit dies, one that looks just the right size for your dragon's head to poke through. And what I've done with this is I've lined it up to where I want to be, and I've just put it in and punched. Do the same thing if you're die cutting it. Don't stick them down yet because you're going to want to emboss this. Of course you'll need some soft sky or whatever colour you're using for your actual dragon. So this one I've done yellow with yellow, purpley pinks with purpley pinks. So my dragon is blue, and on the back it's soft sky. So you want that to be the same kind of colour for it to go through. And you want to score it in the middle to make your little kind of bookend look. Okay. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper just to put behind there. And we're going to put some embossing paste on this. So bringing in my shiny paper, some basic grey ink, and you just want to put that on like so. Now of course when you're using embossing paste you can get the re-inkers and just dip a little bit on there and mix it in that way. But if you don't have the re-inkers, this is another way of doing it. I don't have all the re-inkers for my inks. I've only got my favourite colours or the ones I use the most. So this is a fab way of just having more variety of colours for when you're doing projects like this. So bringing in this stencil, you can use washi tape for this. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm just going to place it over the top. And it doesn't have to be perfectly covered. It can be slightly off. I'm going for the fact that it's kind of like an old kind of ruined castle. I assume the inhabitants would have left by now, considering there's a dragon inhabiting the castle. I could be wrong. It could be a nice dragon and they live with it, but who knows. Okay, so this is the fresh new pot for me. If I can get this open. Okay, so I've got that open. I'm using the back end of my spatula just to scoop some of that up. And you don't need a lot, you need a good amount, but not too much. And then I'm just gonna mix it in with this. Sorry, let me bring that over a little bit. So as you can see, it's picking up all that colour. Okay, I want it to be quite a light grey, so that seems quite alright for me. And then I'm just going to hold this down, and you want to scoop it up with the back end of your spatula because it makes it easier for spreading. And literally paste it on. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And you want to scrape across the top, and you get lots left. So I'm finished with this paste, so I'm gonna pop it away so it stays nice and fresh. You want to keep it as airtight as possible, so I make sure the lid's on really nice and tight, and I pop it back in this bag. Okay, so I'm going to peel this off and reveal our cute little blocks. Now this you just put into a container full of soapy warm water, and now clean that right up. Same with your spatula. That's all you need to do for that. So lifting that up, as you can see, got a nice brickwork. So I'm going to leave that to one side to dry. Okay, now what you want to do is you're going to make a little slit in here that we can fit our paperclip in. So like that, it slides behind. So to do this, see, I've done this a little bit higher than I would normally, so I need to pop my dragon back in, get my craft knife, and just make the tiniest little marks on roughly where the opening needs to be. I line it up with my grid paper just to make sure it's nice and straight. And cuts there, and then you go down slightly, second cut, and then you cut the ends. So you've got, sorry, I can't see the camera, so I'm not really sure how well you can see that, but you've got this little mark here, and then you just should be able to just poke it out. She says. Okay, and then you can pop your dragon in there. Okay, so you end up with a kind of like letterbox kind of look. Okay, then we want to get our fast fuse and our main panel, and you want to put fast fuse down the side. It doesn't go all sticky on me. And with your fast fuse, you just want to place it down, make sure it's nice and straight, hold it to the sides, kind of to the back. Don't put any pressure on it, or very little pressure. Pull and flick. And flick. And that is it. I have literally just mastered how to use this stuff. I was not getting on very well with it at all to start with. And we've recently been told that Fast Fuse will no longer be in the new catalogue. Which is a shame because I've just mastered it. And I actually love it. It's perfect for these kinds of projects. A little bit there. And you know it's going to stick. When it works and when you can get it working right for you, you know it's going to stick and it's going to do wonders for those 3D projects. But, you know, they can't keep everything, so we're wondering if they're going to bring in something else. Okay, so a bit of Tombow on these bits here because the Fast Fuse won't fit. You're going to place it inside with a nice blue border. And then you've got those stars shining through. I actually quite like that. It's turned out alright. And then your paperclip should, there we go, fit in nicely there. And your dragon's poking his head out. So it does dry quite quick. It could do with a little bit longer, so I'm going to be extra careful with it. So again, Fast Fuse. And then all you do for this is you line it back up with your circle as best you can. And, okay, so now we're going to put the banner on. So you kind of want it a little bit over the circle there. So you want to make sure your dimensionals are more towards the bottom of the banner. Got stuff all over me. And I'm going to place that on about there. Okay, now for our little vines. So like I said, I have changed the colour up of this a little bit. I did do lemon lime twist to start with. But I'm just going to use some Tombow. I'm just going to place my dragon inside. Like so. And there we are finished. So these are the other two colours I did. If you like this project, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe. The link to my Facebook page and my blog are in the description bar below. If you are based in the UK and don't already have a demonstrator, I would love for you to come and shop with me. You can find a shop now link in the description bar below. You can also find one on my blog and Facebook page. Please don't forget to use the hostess code. If your order is over £50, you'll get extra free goodies from me. Don't use it if your order is over £150 because you'll earn your own hostess rewards, but I will still give you the extra goodies. Every order, no matter what the price, will get a handmade card and thank you gift sent at the end of the month. But I hope you like this project. Please do leave a comment below on which one you do think is better out of these two. So die cut stars or stamped stars, and let me know what you think. Have a lovely day. Bye.